Style Summer Swing Out podcast. I'm very excited because today we have our first international guest. This is Macco. Hi, Macco.
Hi, Andrea, and hi, everyone.
Well, thank you so much. What time is it over there right now?
It's 8 a.m.
8 a.m. You got up at 8 a.m. to talk to us on a Saturday? My goodness. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
Um, for those of you who don't know, I met Mako a couple of months ago when she was visiting California. So why don't you just give us a quick intro about you, Mako, and how we met?
Hello, everyone. I'm Macco from South Korea. I am located in Seoul. I was born and raised in Seoul and started Lindy Hop dancing about a year and 4 months ago.
Hmm.
And I went to Los Angeles for my company's business trip. And then I added some of my holidays just to see around the swing scene out there. And
Hmm.
the first social I went was Lindy Groove.
Yeah.
There, Andrew was like, "You are Mako." Because we knew each other from
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram already. Yeah, and that's how our like personal um talk started, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember because we had messaged each other. I was like, "Hey, did I see that you're coming to LA?" Right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
posted a story that I'm coming to LA, and Angie, I didn't know him before,
hmm.
replied to me. And I was excited that I already had a friend. Crazy.
Yeah,
And
and
he introduced me to all the dancers who were there that day, which
mm,
made my day like completely um blew out after because we went to taco truck together after
yeah.
dance with all the friends. So I loved it.
Well, we were so happy to have you. And for those listening, we're talking about the Lindy Groovers. So it's like Marco, Zach, Meg, Brandon, all those. They're so sweet and they're amazing people. But funny enough, I we're gonna talk about this later, but I also met Min when he was here visiting. You remember
Me.
Min Song? Who you
Ah,
who you, I
yes,
think you competed
yes,
with,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk about that a little later. But I want to go back to that point that you had mentioned. You said that you've only been dancing for a year and 4 months.
Yes.
Wait, so when I met you, how long had you been dancing?
It was my 1 year anniversary, I think. Yeah.
W- You've only been dancing for 1 year and you're that good already? Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That that's crazy. Okay, well, how did you find swing dancing? Because I'll ask you a bit more about the Korea swing dancing, but how did you find Lindy Hop?
So I've been dancing different kind of dance, Afro dance, for
Uh-huh.
about 2 years. And then I went to a different city in Korea to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And there, the owner of this guest house, um, who is now one of my best friends, they told me they're swing dancers. Like how they started their guest house co-business is that they met through swing dancing.
Oh,
And
okay.
and it was their like third time meeting when they decided to do this business together. And I thought that was crazy.
Mm.
But at that time, I didn't listen to the swing dancing enough because I was telling them Afro dance is so fun. You guys should start Afro dancing. They were like showing me all the videos of swing dancers. And one video from Pamela caught my eye, but I
Mm.
didn't learn or started swing dancing right after. And
Mm.
like I was like I didn't know if I would love it
Mm.
because I think I was already content with doing the Afro dancing.
Yeah.
But then um and in Korea for you to learn the lindy dance, you need to register through like a kind of like a club or school
Mm-hmm.
that has minimum of 7 week courses. Like you have to commit at
Uh-huh.
least 7 weeks just to graduate first grade. And
Yeah.
I thought that was a long commitment that for a dance that I don't know if I would love.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't start for like all long. And
Mm-hmm.
then after like 1 year, I found out this like 1 day class type of thing
Mm-hmm.
from my current teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like intermediate course where you learn swing out, things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually started. So I didn't start off from the basic pattern, but
Yeah.
more from the I was thrown into
Thrown
more
into the water.
intermediate advanced level, and
Yeah.
I somehow figured out the steps, and my teacher thought that I was talented, and they
Mm.
scout me into their team.
Wow. Wait, so you didn't do the 7 week commitment. You just did
No.
that one day. And then after that, did you sign up for the 7 week commitment?
No. So it was kind of like a 2 weeks program. And
Gotcha.
then I didn't want to do the 7 week academic type
Yeah.
program. So I still didn't know how I could start.
Mm-hmm.
I was keep registering for like 1 day classes, and then my
Mm.
teachers, um, it was exactly 1 year ago in March, they created a new performance and training lindy hop team.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like gathering people to start this new team, and
Yeah.
they offered um me, me part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um So I didn't go to the school at all. So I started straight into the Lindy Hop team, which is kind of different from the schools.
Wow. So you fast tracked it because you're that talented.
No, I wasn't say I found it, but I think I was very lucky to meet my teachers,
Mm.
who gave me the right um lessons and right type of the I would say, challenges that I felt it was interesting enough to
Yeah.
keep dancing. Yeah, I feel very lucky.
Aw, that's incredible. Wait, who are your teachers?
They're Laura and Youngbo.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they compete in international dance competitions. They're amazing, and they're one of
Mm.
the top orchestra dancers in Korea who's keep winning,
Aw.
but also quite different from traditional other teachers. That's why they
Mm.
created, I think, their style of their new team, and I like it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, you mentioned like competitions in Korea because when you and I had talked, you said there are monthly competitions, right? Can you, for those who are listening who may not like know a lot about Korea scene, can you walk us through what that looks like?
So it's not exactly monthly, I would say, but it's also monthly because we have every month
Uh-huh.
different swing festivals or festivals.
Uh-huh.
So it's crazy how the organizers in Korea, um, either based out of the all the clubs or outside of the clubs,
Mm-hmm.
they create usually they invite international dancers to
Mm-hmm.
make it like a big event and then put up a social competition classes. And it happens with new concept almost every month or bi-monthly basis.
Uh-huh.
Um, and yeah, it's crazy how yesterday I was also talking to my friend about how every month we have a new competition and event, and it's
Yeah.
really quite expensive to attend every one of them. So we have to choose
Mm.
like which one or which teachers I would love to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man. every time I talk to you about dancing in South Korea, I always think I really want to visit. I really, really would love to come and dance out there sometime. So,
You
um,
should. Definitely should. Yeah.
I definitely will. A question that I wanted to ask you was, so you started about a year and a little bit ago, right? So when did you realize that you fell in love with this dance? When did you realize, oh, this is everything?
That's a really good question because I'm a kind of person who does everything, interested in everything, quickly
Mm.
fell in love and quit. That so I have been for 1 year keep judging or like being skeptical about if I will keep dancing
Mhm.
like seriously like this.
Mhm.
Um Even when I was coming into this new team, I thought I will do it for 1 month and quit.
Yeah.
But then I'm doing it over 1 year. It's crazy. Because
Mm.
for me to do something for a year for like twice or three times a week, it's crazy. But I think it was a moment. I think I have to say the Rocking and Swinging Festival
Mm.
um that we had last July in the summer.
Mm.
We had Niels and Bianca, Jeremy and Milani, and
Mm.
Florang. So those dancers came over and did we did all I think it was 2 weeks of a festival.
Mm.
And we had competition as well. And here in Korea, we have a division called Rookie. So whoever danced less than 2 years can compete in that division.
Mhm.
And I was lucky enough to get second place there.
Hey.
Yeah, and I didn't expect at all because it was my well, it was my second competition ever, but I didn't think I would win. So I
Mm.
made it to final and it was already crazy event.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after the competition, Bianca came to me and told me that um don't change, like don't change your style, don't
Aw.
change um and she was like she's going visiting like all over the places um and she meets so many dancers so it's hard to remember like every one of them, but she says like if you don't change how you dance I might remember you and things like that. And it
Mhm.
was a timing that I was kind of doubting that I didn't register through school and I didn't get
Mm.
proper education to get to a basic or qualified level.
Uh-huh.
But after that competition, like winning and getting the compliments, I think I thought maybe I have more reason to do it uh
Mm.
the way I want it and the
Yeah.
way I feel maybe unique and comfortable
Mm.
and
Mhm.
fitting myself into the perfect angle or swivels or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to say that, like, when we danced, that dance at Atomic, the one that we put on video, that
Mm.
one sticks out in my mind because it was so comfortable, and I knew exactly where you were the entire time, and you're just you can feel the music so beautifully, and your movement is just so unique and present. It's something that I always appreciate when we danced, you know?
Thank you so much for saying that. Because I didn't get the proper education, I think I listen to music more. I mean, music is more of my base than
Mm,
the other like techniques or things like that. So I
yeah.
love it. I love that you say that. But going to LA changed my dance style completely, and
Oh,
it's a
no.
really fun journey. Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me about that. How about your time in LA? How did LA affect your dance journey?
I think going to LA is also one of the biggest timing that I decided I can commit to this community
Mm, mhm, mhm.
because I love traveling And it was my, I think, sixth or seventh time visiting LA.
Yeah.
So I knew like all the cities, fun stuff, Hollywood sign, whatever, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so I wasn't very excited to go to LA when I was going for the business. And then with the swing dancing, I went into this swing calendar that put all the LA events.
Yeah.
And I found out LA also has almost daily live concert type
Mm.
events,
Hmm.
which is crazy because in Korea we have maybe only in those festivals we have lives,
Yeah.
but usually the socials are DJ based.
Yeah.
And at the time when I visited, everyday live music, everyday different venues, social dancing, and also meeting you and your friends. And that led to another big new adventures, like going to someone's university, going
Yeah.
visiting someone's dog walk at the beach.
Hmm.
It wasn't just dancing, but it was a whole new type of engaging with new friend. So
Hmm.
I thought this is a way maybe I want to travel and engage more. And I
Mm.
have this new language of dancing that I can communicate with my new friend who I will never meet if I didn't dance.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really special moment that I even wanted to write a book about it, about my visit to LA, but
Wow.
I didn't. I wrote the table of contents, but I didn't. Um, so I will definitely. This interview reminds me to write that. Yeah,
I would 100% buy and read that book, just so you know.
I should write in English. Okay.
You can write in both languages. So, because in LA, I know that LA, we have a lot of different scenes, right? So, um, if you happen to be listening from another country, LA has the scene in Hollywood, which is Steven Sayer and Karini and um, everyone there. And then there's also Lindy Groove, which is where Mako and I met. And I remember that so fondly because I remember telling you, "Hey, there is an out of towners jam," and I was like, "Can I put your name down?" And you were like, "Oh, okay."
Remember that?
Yeah, and I'm so glad we did too because then I was able to tell all of my friends, it's like, "Hey, go dance with Mako. She's awesome." And I like threw all my friends at you. You must have been slightly overwhelmed, but I was all that to say, did you have fun at Lindy Groove?
Ah, that was the best part, the gym. It was I haven't went into any gyms in Korea
Oh,
before
really?
that. So it was my like entire life first time gym. So
Wow.
because I'm not part of any community or school, usually they sign up for those stuff, right? And
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah.
not part of it. So I just go to social dance and I'm like ghost like I dance and come back home. But the
Mhm.
gym, I look at it and I kind of want to do it, but I don't have I'm not that eager to like go sign up for myself, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when I was in LA, you signed up for me, and also I think the gym was kind of different,
Yeah.
and I was part of it, so it was best experience ever to
Oh.
find out because I found two things different from
Mm.
that welcome jam. One is everyone said welcome when they started grabbing me, like when they started holding. So I think
Mhm.
in Korea, when they're doing jams or I don't know, I'm not part of the club, but they don't talk, but they just
Mm.
dance.
Oh.
They start dancing like so hearing everyone say welcome is something that I don't know, felt very welcoming.
Mm, mhm, mhm.
And the second thing was that I think I told you that
Mm.
no one waited for 8 count to end.
Yeah.
They come right into it. Like after two steps,
Yeah.
there's a new person. And there was even time when two dancers came together and they were kind of like grabbing me like a um chair stealing game.
Yeah.
And I was so how to say, it was very dizzy experience, but
Yeah.
also very fun because I didn't expect that change so sudden. And I
Hmm.
found out, now I know there's kind of a thing called steel jam,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
think LA people are very used to it.
Hmm.
And I think it was my first time seeing it. So
Mm.
yeah, to again, thank you for registering me for all in Lindy Group and also in Atomic.
Hmm.
And I think there I felt the same thing. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
So we had talked a little bit about like these magical moments, right? It
Mhm.
sounds like that jam was a magical moment for you when you started dancing, when you came out to LA, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. And also looking at all those steel gems and other gems where I
Hmm.
saw a lot of gender, how to say, gender breaking
Hmm.
um type of playing moments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There are also some in Korean, but I didn't see that many of women leading and men following, and
Hmm.
people stealing and switching the roles.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I am personally interested in gender and equality and
Yes.
all the diversity topics.
Yes.
And I thought, as big and diverse LA is, the dancing was also very open and
Hmm.
accessible for everyone to every role. I thought
Yeah.
that was, and I could apply that kind of my theory into dancing. So I really liked the jam culture in LA.
Well, that is so refreshing. That's so refreshing to hear because us here in LA, we never really think about how we do steals all the time. And it is true that when we do the steel jam, no one waits 8/8 or even 4/8 in order to jump in. And that was when you told me that that was a thing in Korea, I was like, oh, that's actually a great idea. Sometimes I wish we would do that. That'd be, and people can expect when the next person comes in. But doing it the way we do it, it's like fun and spontaneous, right? No one really like knows that it's happening, you know?
It was really fun. I liked it because no one was um serious or surprised to get stilled. Like they were not sad at all to
Yeah.
miss the, but they all just went in again to steal. And
Hmm.
it was just another fun way to do the best socials, I think.
Yeah, Lindy Groove. So, Lance and Vicky, the people that organize Lindy Groove, they're very big on community and making sure that everyone there has a really fun time. So I think that when you came, everyone was really excited to welcome someone from out of town into the community, right? And I'm just saying, Mako, you can come back anytime you want. You can even move here if you want. Just saying.
That's a really
Um,
good idea.
yeah. And so we talked about how you loved that jam that we did at Lindy Groove, and then you also stayed for the end for the end credit extravaganza, the one where everyone's doing that line dance.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. I
The
remember,
one that you were leading,
yes, the one that I was
right?
leading. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I remember that.
I forget what song I used, but I was watching the video later and like you know how to solo. Like I was watching you and I was like, okay, now that you mentioned that you did Afro, I'm like, okay, it totally makes sense. I get it now, you know? Uh,
Best ending social, because very comforting for the first time.
yeah.
Something that I know, and I think I really liked. Um, Sometimes in Korea socials, when they put non-swing music, it
Hmm.
might be like K-pop
Ah,
or
uh-huh.
K-pop. But this was something new that I would never hear in a Korea swing bar. and
Mm,
I love Afro dance, and I don't know, and the way everyone ended it together was very a new thing for me.
mm.
Because in Korea, I think everyone started packing and going home when the last song ended. But in Lindy Group in LA, you're kind of everyone stand up and you can just follow me through the whole song, kind of like a ending stretch together.
Yeah.
Cooling down from the crazy jams and dances you had tonight.
Yeah.
And
So
I yeah, very, very
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it was, I mean, this kind of happened on accident, honestly, because one time Vicky was just playing a cleanup song, and then I started doing something and people started following me. And then in the end, it just started becoming a thing.
Mhm.
And I look forward to it every week because I feel like it's a great way for us to join together as a community. Like, yes, we're doing dancing like a little bit, but when we're doing it all together, it's a very heartwarming thing for me and for I know Lance and Vicky because it really does bring people together. The blues dance room comes and joins us as well, which is always super nice.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Um,
It was really interesting that you had other rooms than just the main social, that other dances. And now that you mention it, I liked it because I was about to leave and you
mm,
told me, Marco, you should stay until the end and we can go to, I don't know,
tacos.
taco. I don't know if you I was up for the taco or the dance,
Uh-huh.
but I was really glad that I stayed until the end because
Mm.
I could do the, I don't know how you call it, the extra. Yeah.
Extravaganza. Yeah.
And you make up the routine every week?
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
know what's gonna happen. When I go there and I pick a song, I don't have a pre-planned thing. It's all improvisation.
So talented as a teacher. Because I don't like when people are like, do this like telling the exact position or teaching it, but rather you
Mhm.
can just follow it through music. I like that kind of experience. So,
I think that's why you and I dance so well because I grew up in Cameroon and Kenya, and so dancing coupé décalé, that
Coupe de
was
Calais, I know. Oh my God. Yeah.
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 Because when I was growing up, I was that's like the dance that was the norm for us. And I think that's why like we understood each other when we were dancing because we had that African movement background. That's
Ah,
yeah, that's also why like that's also what I bring to like Lindy Groove is this sense of yeah, you can move your body this way or do this position, or you can listen to the music and go where the music leads you, you know?
love it. Love it. I was actually very surprised after learning Lindy Hop that
Mm,
the roots and history of the dance started from African American. And if you
yeah.
think about the Afro house music or dances that I learned before, it the roots connect some
Yes.
way,
Mm-hmm.
but the way how it's seen in current times, it's really different. The image,
Mm-hmm.
the way
Yeah.
so different that I didn't imagine the roots will be the same. And sometimes people tell me, "Oh, that's why you're so good because you have some taste of the Afro
Mm-hmm.
movement." And
Mm-hmm.
that's really interesting. And I think I love seeing you leading that and dance, cleanup dance with Afro music. I really like it.
Well, thank you so much, Marco. That's very kind of you. You need to come back again and do it with me next time. Okay.
That's
Next time you
great.
come to LA, you can lead it. But I was gonna say that the fact that you say that warms my heart because I know that the dance at the end that is huge. So for those listening and who've never been to Lindy Groove, typically at the end of Lindy Groove at around midnight, we do a thing called the post credit extravaganza. Lance came up with that name, and what we do is we play a song, and then typically someone is at the very front and they're leading, and then everyone just follows. No one knows what song it's going to be, what the movements are. It's not choreographed. It's essentially just a nice, easy step to do. And Mako killed it. I was watching the video earlier. You killed it. Goodness. I can't wait for you to come back next time. But yeah, for those listening, there was something I wanted to go back to though. You were talking about magical moments. So it sounds to me like Lindy Groove being in that jam was a magical moment. Getting second place in that competition was a magical moment. Um, I'm curious, what are some other magical moments you've had when you started swing dancing?
It's really hard to pick,
Mm.
because I feel like we have so many events, so
Mm.
many training sessions, and even every social. It's not the best every time, but maybe one or two dance like blows my mind, and
Mm.
I want to be better at
Mm.
communicating that way. Um, there was one I have to say right before I went to LA.
Mm.
Um, my teachers and our team was featured in a short film movie as
Ooh.
a my teacher's being main character of that movie as a swing
Mm-hmm.
dancer and us filming some scenes within the plots.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who love arts and didn't know my dance journey will connect to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought it was one of the magical moments being videographed from the professionals
Mm-hmm.
and be able to dance and having the opportunity to share it with our team.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think those moments come because I stayed in my team,
Mm.
but it was very special because I'm not a perfect dancer. Even I was a very beginner level at that
Mm-hmm.
time, and then was able to train big apples and um, showcase with a beautiful scene. It was also one of the magical moments because it
Oh,
was something that I never expected I would do as a dancer.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's wow. To put those two things together, like your love for movies and art and then dancing, that's special. That's really special. And I imagine because one of the things I love about your Instagram is you're always putting out these amazing videos of you doing solo all around the world, it feels like, because you've been traveling a lot recently, right?
Right.
Uh,
After LA, I visited Snowball in Sweden, Stockholm,
mhm,
and then I visited Jumping at Istanbul, which
mm,
is the first ever Turkey Istanbul's biggest swing event.
mhm,
Yeah, that's the three places. So I would say the magical moment, um, combining this LA, Stockholm, and Istanbul, it always gives me the new like an engine to start a whole new dance life.
yeah, I'll say. Now, when you traveled, so I did see that you competed at Snowball, right? And I remember seeing videos and I messaged you. I was like, Marco, good job, great job. How does competing fit into like your dance philosophy?
That's a good question because sometimes when I don't do well, I'm like, should I really compete? Because I'm not dancing for competition. I'm not dancing for being judged. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it gives me frustrations.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about it is it's just another a very good opportunity to dance with really good people.
Mm. Mhm.
Because you're forced to dance with someone with your best effort.
Mm.
Because sometimes in socials, it's you can just chill and have
Mhm.
fun, but maybe not focus 100 time,
Yeah.
100% of the time. But in even prelims, they will do the best, and I will do my best, and I think it's really another fun dance. And then if I'm lucky enough to make it to final, it's another opportunity to dance
Mm.
in front of live music, in front of people, just to be able to show and have the dance is, I think, very special. So
Mhm.
I I compete to dance more.
Yeah.
And if I do well, it will come that after the competition, people will come to me saying like, "Oh, I saw you. Congratulations!" And then I will have a better social dance experience after all.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that
So
is
I like.
yeah, that's one of the benefits of competing, I feel like, is just exposure because people don't know who you are. I'm not saying that like people should compete so that they climb the social ladder, but I love how you said you compete to dance because, in my opinion, Amy, my partner, and I, we also think that competing is great because instead of sitting and watching people, we could be dancing, which is
Exactly.
yeah, which is something that I've always found to be amazing. Now, I imagine when you traveled to Sweden and to Turkey for dancing there, that was a completely different experience from LA because completely new scene, different customs. Like, what were some things that stood out to you traveling like to those different scenes?
Dancers were really different. And the baseline difference was that for Sweden and Turkey, I visited for this event and festival. So it
Hmm.
was people from all around the world, mainly from Europe,
Hmm.
coming to enjoy for the competition event. But I didn't went to Camp Hollywood or things like that. I just came
Mm.
in at a normal timing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like where
Uh-huh.
there's not a big event, but it was just everyday life. And I think I
Hmm.
liked it that way because I
Hmm.
could see everyday life of the LA swing dancers and get into like free courses and events in all different venues.
Yeah.
So I think the vibe was very different from festivals that I went. But other than that, the dance style itself is very different. Not to
Mm.
mention from like Sweden or Europe, but also from Korea. So all those America, Korea, Europe, I feel they're very, very different, even
Yeah.
within the same hop. And I remember my teacher telling me right after I visited LA and coming to Seoul and to do my first social after that, she's like, now you dance like an LA dancer.
Oh.
Where's your balance? And you use so much how to say over rotation of the swing out thingy
Mhm. Mhm.
and the way I swivel. So everything I changed from visiting LA. And then go to Europe or Sweden, there's this kind of all these dancers vintage style doing a lot of bounce
Mm. Mhm.
and still very soft but also energetic. I think it's and then now I dance like that. So every time I visit new place, I kind of absorb those styles and my dance will change. In Turkey it was also crazy because everyone was very focused on expressing music, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of the dance. And when I do like some very unique or stupid or silly things that
Mhm.
I think they even responded with more crazy movements. So I like that energy in Turkey, and experience was very unique. Um but yeah, I love it all because everyone's just being their selves. Um
Yeah. And I
yeah.
imagine when you're traveling, like it's because we share this dance, you're able to make new friends, right? So walk me through like that experience for you.
So before going to LA, I
Hmm.
was posting a lot of solo jazz and Big Apple training videos
Yeah,
for that filming that movie because I wanted to be good at that scene.
yeah.
And I love being at outdoors and making the video. But I was not sure if I should really post it because I wasn't a social media kind of person before.
Hmm.
But I really, really liked it that you reached out to me answering my story about going visiting LA.
Hmm.
And then from there I started like there was this explosion of my dancer network in LA. After those PCT, tofu, eat out,
Yeah.
taco, yeah, and everyone driving me back. That's also a big difference from other cities. LA is so big that I would always have to get a ride from a dancer.
Mm,
And
hmm.
in the car we share all the journeys of our dance lives and what they're doing
Hmm.
in their life. And I really liked it because
Mm,
otherwise you would just dance and go home.
yeah.
But yeah, um so posting through social media, you knew me and then reached out, and we became friends. So I really liked, and I felt like maybe I should keep posting my
Mm,
stuff.
hmm.
And going to those dance festivals and also competing made me a whole new friend,
Mm,
because in Snowball there was this guy named Randy from Germany. Um, we danced together at a prelim, and then we weren't partnered, but we danced also together at the final stage. And we had each other's videos and we shared, and then that's how we started like talking about our life and connecting through Instagram, stuff
hmm.
like that. And then it was crazy because I went to Turkey and he came again.
Uh-huh.
And now I already have a friend who's dancing in Europe, and he brought like um chocolate from Germany, and he also asked
Aw.
some ramen from Korea. And we shared our food and we shared the dance. It was just so much more fun than just visiting as a guest or visitor.
Mm, mhm,
So making like friends through either social media or just going randomly to talk in socials, or competing together, I think it brought me to sharing this new whole new, culture exchange of
mhm.
not just dance but also the life.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved. And also taking classes together, like in those
Mm,
events, will definitely make new friend, because during the classes there will be breaks and people chat. And I think if I just did the party passes, then
mhm.
I may not have the as many friends as I have now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's so powerful what you said because dancing is such a swing dancing is such a niche thing. Like, it's not as common, but because so few of us in the grand scale, so few of us do it, when we meet someone, I think that it goes deeper than that because it makes that initial connection, but we find out that there's more in common than just dancing, which really fosters that friendship, like you said, right, with Randy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I've only been in Los Angeles for about a year, and I already made some. Oh, you didn't know?
No, I thought you're like 20 years of living in LA. You're the I don't know, host of all hub of all the community.
No, no, no. I moved to LA about a year ago.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
and
that's another courage giving moment that I could
yeah.
move and be part. of the community.
Yeah, you mean you're moving to Los Angeles, right? That's what you mean?
Sometimes if I think about not just traveling, but living and working in different city,
Mhm,
um, I'm not worried about getting a job, but more
mhm,
worried about having a friend or everyday life.
mhm,
But meeting those LA scene was something giving me a new hint or courage or a reason for me to go anywhere in the world
mhm.
and give, I don't know, 1 year of living. Just give it a try because there will be people and there will be social um that I could go to. Like I don't have to make arrangement with all these people,
Yeah,
but I could just show up and dance. So I think it was really like enlightening um lesson.
yeah,
And it's really crazy that you only lived 1 year in LA and be so core of all these, I don't know, cultures.
I mean, that's very kind of you. I don't think I'm a core, but I think that people here are really nice. Like there are there are some people here that I consider to be like my dearest and closest friends, even though we've only been friends for a year. But um, it that speaks to what you were talking about, like the testament of friendship. How when you came to LA, you met these people, but then it became more than just you being a visitor. You went on the dog walks, you went to the beach, and all that. You were exposed to so much. I think that speaks to like the kindness of swing dancers as a whole. You know, like I think that a lot of swing dancers, by their very nature, because they like to swing dance and it's a dance of joy, they're also joyful themselves and they're kind because of that. Not everyone, but a lot of people, you know?
That's right. I think having that, as you mentioned, with one small but big common thing, and it leads to a whole new like friendship or experience. I think it's a really fun and also magical moment
Mm-hmm.
of um not just traveling, but like meeting new people and being in the community because I never felt this comfortable in a community or big people gathering thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I preferred like smaller sized gatherings, like three or maximum four people. But with
Mm-hmm.
swing dancing, I have like 20 people like talking about dance and I could enjoy the party. Like I wasn't a party kind of person because I don't
Mm-hmm.
drink.
Mm-hmm.
But then now it's comfortable. You don't have to drink, but you could still dance and you could still talk and it I didn't feel awkward
Yeah,
standing
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
So um I don't know, with the dance and the kindness combined together, it gives me a reason to stay in the
Mm,
community, even in Korea. I
that's
love,
huge.
and you should also really come to Korea to know that here's also different scene, but to know you have friend and house in Seoul already.
Oh,
Um, I think it's yeah, having that feeling is also something different than just
mm,
showing up in a city and knowing nobody. It's
mm-hmm,
I think
mm-hmm.
it's special.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And believe you me, I am planning to go to Korea at some point. Speaking of which, since we're talking about different scenes and how it makes us feel, I understand when we had spoke that swing dancing really opened up your eyes to like understanding the society or the swing community as well as understanding yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what are some things that swing dancing kind of helped you see as far as the society and yourself?
Right. So for my personal life journeys or adventures or artistic like endeavors,
Mm-hmm.
I do like I also do music and painting and doing like an exhibition.
Mhm.
things like that. And in arts, I always thought that I should be myself and not move myself to fit into the society.
Mhm.
But I was kind of more into myself part than communicating with the word or each other. But
Mhm.
going into like this partner dancing scene, um I could train like listening to the leads. So
Mm.
at first it was very difficult because I started as a follower and I listened to this kind of music, and some leads don't dance to music. They just do their patterns.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes I'm patterning or I want to do my move, but I felt like I'm confined to their leads or their patterns or their um way of dancing.
Mm.
And I could do my styling, but still sometimes it was seen as something going against the rules or norms.
Yeah.
And now I know that it's not that, but still I felt like at first, oh, I don't want to give in to other styles, and things like that. But
Mm.
going forward, I'm learning and like doing and sharing more of this dance. Now I'm a better listener in
Mm.
dance, and I'm a better communicator in dance, and I'm more softer.
Mm.
Um, it gave me a whole new way to listen to others and while keeping myself, not just
Mm.
insisting for myself and doing just my patterns, because that
Uh-huh.
would make a very bad dance, but more of for me to think about how can I make this dance best and fun for myself,
Mm.
and still communicating and listening or following at a very fun way. Like that's I think that's the best dance. Like not just doing one dance, but also two sharing their things. And this trained me not just in dance but also in life
Mm.
to like hear and still keep my individuality in styling, like how
Mm.
Bianca mentioned. So all this like thoughts in the dances, because it's partner dancing, I think it gave me a whole new mindset of communicating.
Mhm.
Um so I would say I'm now more socialized than before. Because to make the dance a great dance, I would not only do my thing but also listen to others
Mm.
well.
Mhm.
Does it make sense? Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No,
think
it does. Um, I
yeah,
think that
especially as a follower. Yeah.
yeah, especially I really resonate with what you said about like listening to the music because I know what it feels like to have a lead not listen to the music and they just lead you what they want you to do. And it's a stark contrast when you're dancing with someone and they hear the music and they give you the space to express yourself or to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Best lead, giving the space, giving the timing. But I forgot what I was gonna mention. Yeah. So once I started the Lindy Hop,
Mhm.
because usually women does following in Korea.
Mhm.
Naturally I started as following, but there was my ego that I'm more of an active type, adventurous type. I insist my way all the time in my life. So I wasn't very content with the role of following. I
Mm.
had internal conflict that I maybe should doing the lead or and sometimes I get in those timings that I hear the music,
Mhm.
the leads are not to me a not good leader. But there was this one class that she told me, one of the international teacher told me that follower is also leader and leader is also follower,
Mm.
our shared leader is music, and I really like that idea because that
Ooh.
gave me the new mindset that I shouldn't be just listening and following, but I could also suggest something. And also, there's our more common teacher than just following the other person who leads.
Mm,
So the idea of following and being follower, I had internal conflict of I don't like this role.
mhm,
But I think becoming a better follower is a becoming better version of myself as a
mm,
person.
mm,
Because not because you can follow better, but because you can listen to someone and have a way of communication that also insists you in a following position. And
yes.
that's a skill even in company.
Mm,
You always have your leader or boss, but
mhm.
still being able to insist something while respecting all, I think it's a new skill.
Yeah, and it seems like dancing helps you develop that skill more.
Exactly, exactly.
That that was an amazing quote. What was that quote again? You said followers are also leaders and leaders are also followers. The music is our ultimate leader. Is that it?
Our yes, yes, yes.
Who said that quote, by the way? Because I definitely want to use it. I want to quote them.
She's also Korean, but now in France, teaching internationally in all over the world. She's Hyunjung Choi. I can write you. But
Okay.
she dances with Nicholas. Um, and yeah, I think she's one of the Korean dancers who now is the international level teaching and traveling all the world.
Wow. Yeah, if you could send me her profile, that would be amazing. I love that quote so much to the point where I think that's a good way to start like winding things down because man, that quote and how like that affected you, that's powerful. So, I typically ask three questions to like kind of ease towards the end, but one of the big questions I was going to ask you was, what are the events you're planning to go to for the rest of the year?
Ah, that's a really good question because do you know Harang?
Yeah.
I've been really, really thinking a lot about going to it because I heard about it so much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And everyone say that it's my thing. I
Mm,
love nature, camping, and 1 month of like social classes and festivals. Everyone says it's heaven.
mm,
But to go there to for a long time, I need to quit my job.
mm,
So it's a big decision moment actually.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So we'll see, we'll see. Let's see. I'm not a person who plans out everything. I'm more
mm-hmm.
of a spontaneous type. But
Ah,
there's one thing that I look forward to is whether I will quit and go to Haran.
mm.
It's a big decision.
That is a big decision indeed. How about Camp Hollywood?
Ah, it's also in the summer, right?
It's in September. Yeah.
September. I heard it's really, really big. And I saw so amazing videos. And many mentioned actually when I visited LA, they were like, come in the Camp Hollywood season because it's a totally different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let's see. Because I would love to visit, but all the plane tickets, oh my gosh.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
there are so many swing events in the world that I want to visit. If I
Mm-hmm.
all make it, then it will be a world travel because there are so many in all around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And if there are people here that want to connect with you in case you go to their country or something like that, how would they find you? Like on Instagram or never
Yes,
mind.
on Instagram. Yeah, you can type all Macco moving. And there you can see all my solo videos that Andrew's been mentioning.
And here is the last question I have for the interview. This is the one I ask all my guests. What's a message you want to leave for all swing dancers that are listening?
Ah, I listened to it from the previous podcast, and
Podcast.
I thought that was a really tricky question. Oh, but I have this. This is the badges that I collected from LA,
Oh,
like the
wow.
yeah, and then I even made it to San Diego Fest, if you remember.
Hmm.
So, um, I don't have a message to share, but more, mm, dancing gave me all those, like, if you see this passes, the
Hmm.
wristbands, they are very
Hmm.
colorful.
Hmm.
Um, I can also show you a atomic poster.
Yeah.
So dancing will make your life more colorful.
Aw, I love that. Dancing will make your life more colorful.
Like,
That is amazing. Okay. I don't know of a better way to end this podcast, but on that statement that dancing makes your life more colorful. But Mako, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and
thank
really
you so much
appreciate
for having me.
it.
This is also one of my magical moments because I go around to interview people for my books and my contents, but I was
Uh-huh.
never being interviewed. So
Well, I'm glad that you were able to bring us all this wonderful information. Thank you all so much for listening in to our first international guest. Mako is incredible, and hopefully, we see her when she moves out here to California. But thank you all so much for listening. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well as on YouTube. You'll find all the details below. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you so much for lending us your ears on the SoCal Summer Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're looking forward to putting out some great episodes for you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.